Hi, my name is Gerry, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the Scribble strip LCD on a Line 6 Helix control, and how to prevent it from breaking in the future. So stay tuned through the end of the video to find out how. Okay, so story time. Last year, I had the wonderfully amazing opportunity to perform at Whiskey A Go Go. Yes, the historic Whiskey A Go Go on the Sunset Strip in California. I'm sure some of you more established acts have played there before, but it was kind of a big deal for little old me. Anyway, it was kind of a last minute gig, so I threw all of my gear into my little car, drove down to Los Angeles, played the show, and had a grand old time. When I returned and booted up the Helix rack again, I noticed that one of the Scribble strips on the Helix rack was damaged, and it was probably because it got bumped or something like that during transport. I guess you could say that I was a slacker.
You're a slacker.
I opted not to send it into Line 6 and have them repair it for me because I've had this particular unit for years and it's probably out of warranty now. Plus, the replacement Scribble strip LCD is only like $12 on Full Compass, so I figured I could probably get a video out of it too. Also, I must note that according to Full Compass's website, this will also work with HX effects, but I'm not sure if it's going to work with the standard Helix floor unit, so your mileage may vary there. With all that being said, let's head over to the workbench and go through step by step on how to replace one of these. But before we continue, if you could please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos. It really helps a lot. So taking a look at the unit, you can see that the Scribble strip on the bottom right corner is starting to fail. There are these weird orange pixels that are starting to form, and they're only getting worse as time goes on. Also, yes, I am one of those guys who has not yet taken off the original plastic on the unit. I knew it was inevitable, and it wasn't easy for me, but to complete the repair, they just had to come off. Before we take out any screws or anything, I'm going to take this time to dust off the unit, and of course power it down before we take it apart. Opening up the package, you can see what the Scribble strip looks like on its own. We're going to turn the unit over and remove the 6 rubber feet using a Phillips screwdriver. You'll also notice 2 screws kind of in the middle section. Those will need to be removed as well. Flipping it back over, on the back of the unit, we'll need to remove the 2 screws on either side. The last step before the chassis can come off is to remove the 2 pads that are on the sides. These are actually held in with hex screws, so you'll need to get yourself a 2.5mm hex key to do the job. Now it should be able to come apart. Please proceed with caution and delicateness because I would hate for the unit to get damaged by trying to take it apart like a caveman. Have some patience and slowly take it apart. There are some grooves on the left side that the PCB can fit through, but there are no identical grooves on the right side. So I think the trick is to lift it up on the left side and then pull it up and out from the left side. Just work it out slowly and it'll eventually come apart. Now, this next part can seem a little intimidating, but I promise you it isn't so bad. We're going to flip the unit over again and there will be 2 screws above where each foot switch is, and we'll need to remove them with a Phillips screwdriver. Take note of the 2 foot switches that have a sort of plastic spacer, if you will, above them. These will need to go back on those exact spots upon reassembly. Next, slowly and carefully work the PCB out of the groove. It is being held down by a bit of adhesive, but it's nothing so strong that it'll prevent it from coming right out. The only thing that's really connecting the PCBs to each other are the big ribbon cables, so please be careful. Once it's out, you'll notice that the ribbon cables holding the Scribble strips in place have hot glue on them. Make sure to remove the glue before trying to remove the actual ribbon cable. This can easily be done by using your fingers. I'm going to use a plastic pry tool that I got from a Nintendo Switch repair kit to undo the tab holding the ribbon cable in place. Then I'm going to take some tongs, also from the same Nintendo Switch repair kit, to remove the ribbon cable. I'm going to lift the PCB and use the pry tool to remove the old Scribble strip. If we put the old LCD and the new LCD next to each other, you can clearly see the difference and the damage. Finally, using the same tools that I've been using, I'm going to slip the ribbon cable into the groove and carefully put the tab down. After carefully putting the PCB back in place and putting in a few screws, I'm going to power on the unit and make sure that the installation was a success. I would hate to have put the chassis all the way back together only to find out that I did something wrong. And as we can see, yep, everything went according to plan. The only thing left to do is to put everything back in reverse order. Another thing to take note of is to slip this ribbon cable in between the two PCBs. If you look at the footage, you can clearly see that I forgot to do that the first time around and had to remove the screws and do it all over again. Don't forget the two plastic spacer thingies. When putting the chassis back together, remember to slide in the right side first, and then the left side of the PCB should slide right in. Again, I can't reiterate enough, just work it slowly, and it should fit right in. And then, the final step is to put all of the screws back, including the 6 rubber feet, the 2 rubber pads that go on the sides, and that's all there is to it. Phew! Wow, that wasn't really difficult per se, it was definitely a lot of work and I really don't feel like doing all of that again. That's where my buddy Chad Boston from GearByCEBA comes in. If you're not familiar with Chad and his website, he sells skins, accessories, and, most importantly in our case, screen protectors for various modelers, including the Line 6 Helix family of products. So that's what we're going to do with this Helix control unit. I'm not going to go over the entire application process because it is a little involved if you want to do it right, and I already did that in another video when I applied a skin and some other goodies on a Line 6 Helix LT. That will be linked in the description if you want to check that out. I decided to go with this cool carbon fiber skin, and once the screen protectors were on there too, I think the whole thing looks quite spiffy if I do say so myself. He also sells these awesome foot switch toppers if you ever caught yourself finding it difficult to accurately hit the foot switches on the Helix. So I decided to install some of these too. Finally, as a bonus tip, after doing some research, I found that the dimensions on a Helix control and a Podgo messenger bag were almost identical. So I went ahead and grabbed one, and to my surprise, it was a great fit, albeit very snug. So now, on top of everything that we've done, I have something to carry the thing in, and this should definitely prevent it from any further damage in the future. And that pretty much closes out this tutorial. Thank you for taking the time to check out this video. Before proceeding with this repair, I would probably check with one of the Line 6 guys to see if you're still covered under their warranty, and if they'll repair the unit for you. Otherwise, this will definitely void your warranty. You have been warned. Do you guys like to make modifications like this yourself, or would you rather have a professional work on all your gear? I'd love to know, let me know in the comments. If you want to get yourself a skin or a screen protector and save a little cash while you're at it, you can use the code Trevino promo 20 over at GearByCEBA.com during checkout to get 20% off your order. Again, that's Trevino promo 20. And shout out to my friend Chad for providing the skin and screen protectors. Friends, I finally have merch. If you've been wanting to help support me, there's a link in the description that will take you to where you can get yourself some sweet GT merch. You can also keep up to date with me by following me on all kinds of social media. I'm sure that's up on the screen somewhere right now. Also linked in the description. And for more guitar videos like this one, you can head over to my channel, hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.